Alright, well the Frank Reich hype was heating up, yet how much would he really help the offense? Plus, what did Nick Sirianni say about a potential shakeup? Could the Eagles use DeVonta Smith differently, and why is Brandon Graham still confident in the defense? But first, let's run it. Hey guys, alright, let's try to stay positive and start with a happy birthday to Fletcher Cox, who's turning 33, and celebrated with cake made of edible Benjamins, cigars, gold chains, and watches. And no doubt Fletch is having a good season despite the defense as a whole not being very good. However, 91 is confident the unit is close to finding its groove.
This past Sunday night where, they were in those manageable second and ones and third and ones. There's no, I don't care what defensive coordinator, who's the defensive coordinator. There's no good call for that. If we were speaking ball or we're talking about, people that know ball, there's no good call for that. But we got to be better. We're really good when we get teams behind the sticks. In the second half when we got them behind the sticks, we were able to, to kind of force them. I think we helped them with like 9 points, whatever that was. And, we got to continue to do that, get teams behind the sticks. And we got to create some turnovers, get our offense the ball back and, with short fields to go and score.
Look, I love Fletch, but I'm sorry, I don't think I'd say the defense has been good when we get teams behind the sticks. Sure, I'll give him 2nd and 1 and 3rd and 1 being tough to defend, but there's a reason we're dead last in 3rd down defense because boy do we give up a lot of 3rd down and longs. At the same time, I'd argue the offense is the one that's completely inexcusable. I mean, blame the defense all you want, but since the bye, the Birds have averaged 6.5 points scored in the first half of those 4 games. And as we all know, in the Dallas game, the Brian Johnson-led group failed to score a touchdown for the first time since 2019. Come on, there's no way that should be happening with arguably Pro Bowlers at every position on the offense. Well, except for the fact that multiple players were texting Derek Gunn afterwards saying BJ's play calling is way too predictable.
Do it again.
Ouch.
Okay. You'll block it every time.
Okay, seriously, when was the last time a team's play calling looked this vanilla? I mean, I'm not sure there's a better proof point than coming away from the Dallas game with the stat that Jalen Hurts only targeted 3 players in the passing game the entire night, in A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith, and Dallas Goedert. Compare that to Dak Prescott, who found 8 different receivers Sunday night, and I think it's a no-brainer that by spreading the ball around, you definitely keep the defense honest. Of course, let me be clear, I for sure want to get the ball into the hands of the playmakers as much as possible, yet when the lion's share of targets is so skewed toward our big 3, remember, Dallas Goedert missed 3 games, it just makes it too easy on the defense. However, despite the rumors of players being frustrated with telegraphed play calling, Sirianni defended the cause.
We obviously don't think so as coaches. All things are true. You can't be predictable on anything you do, and so like I said, we're working like crazy to complement our plays. So there is nothing, but we'll look at everything and during our self scout of which we get every single week to make sure we're not predictable and doing different things to hit all levels of the field. Our passing game runs through 3 guys. That doesn't mean we don't want to get the ball to some other guys here and there, but the main passing game goes through those guys. The Cowboys and the style of defense they run, which is obviously a very good defense, allows you to, kind of get the ball to the, to where we were going with it. And that's where the ball was designed to go. It has nothing to do with anything else. Just we wanted to get AJ going. We wanted to get DeVonta and Dallas the ball. And every plan is thought of through that. I've said that from the very beginning. And that was our plan in that game too. And obviously we didn't win the game. We didn't play well enough on offense. We didn't coach well enough on offense, but that was by design to throw those guys the football, and that's why the football went there.
All right, again, I'm totally supportive of running your offense through your superstars, yet I think most of us are with Honest NFL who said watching the Eagles' overall passing scheme this year, it's pretty incredible how little separation they're able to manufacture for everyone not named Brown, Smith, or Goedert, the ones who don't necessarily need to be schemed open. There isn't any staff in the NFL with a greater lack of understanding of the advantages of motion than theirs, and it starts with the head coach. Going on to say, when your only response to questions about it is, we won't do it just to do it, that in itself displays a lack of understanding. All motions can serve a very specific purpose and allow you to manufacture advantageous situations for your players to make the game easier. There's too much of a reliance on talent trumping scheme because no great offense is just about utilizing your talent adequately. It's definitely a big part of it, but there needs to be a healthy medium between talent and scheme. Yeah, without question there does. And kudos to Shane Steichen for doing a magnificent job with the squad last year, although running a fairly similar concept for the most part. But the difference this year is that defenses have adjusted to what they saw on tape last season. So although Steichen adapted his offense with Indianapolis, where he now ranks in the upper third of the league in motion used percentage, Sirianni and BJ are stuck in the stone ages of very little creativity and movement pre-snap.
I want to use only the creativity that we have right here in the office.
It just doesn't make sense to me. And honestly, as great as Smitty is, I feel like the Birds are capping his full potential by not allowing him to be utilized like he was in college. As Honest NFL also suggested, the Slim Reaper should be motioning into stacks, bunches, and snapping on the move to get free releases and leverage immediately, like LA's Cooper Kupp and Minnesota's Justin Jefferson. Yeah, I'd love to see DeVonta put in spots to take up his unique skill set and playmaking ability, but I just don't think we're going to see a change there. Although at least the sky's not falling like it did during the Chiefs press conference after losing to the Buffalo Bills, and Jordan Mailata agrees, saying the sky is not falling. Is it ugly right now? Yes, but the sky is not falling. Even Stevie Wonder can see it. This is all part of the process. It's truly a part of the process. Keeping the main thing the main thing. I mean, I can appreciate the positivity. However, I think most of us are in the same boat as NFL Network's James Palmer.
I hate to say this to my hometown team, but I think the Eagles' flaws are bigger right now because they consist on both sides of the ball. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. They right now, Steve, sit 23rd in turnover differential at -4. They were 3rd in the NFL in turnover differential last year. They protected the football. They have as many turnovers right now as they did all of last season. And that's been an issue not just with Jalen Hurts, but you saw a fumble from each star receiver against the Cowboys Sunday night. You've seen them have issues running the football. Now, I do think they can correct some of the things that are on offense because they have so much talent. But right now, a lot of things need to be corrected on the offensive side of the ball. And when I look on the defensive side of the ball, they're not turning the football over, but also, more importantly, they can't stop anybody in the red zone. They came into that game ranked 29th. What were the Cowboys in the red zone? 3 for 3? They can't stop anybody on third down. They are dead last in the NFL in terms of getting off the field on third down. They are not as deep as they were up front. 70 sacks a season ago. They have 37 right now. They're middle of the pack. And they're having guys play a lot more snaps. There's issue at linebacker, issue at slot. I think the Eagles right now, in terms of flaws, because they consist on both sides of the ball, is a bigger deal to correct before both these teams head into the postseason.
All right, we've got issues, but I guess the question is, how can Philly shift the perspective and open up to new ideas? Well, the Enquirer's Marcus Hayes argues the Eagles should hire Frank Reich to save their season, saying Eagles coaches seem to have no answers. They've adjusted at halftime, and they've pulled off some great comebacks in the last 30 minutes, but the coaching staff is getting embarrassed in the first 30 minutes, and the 6 days that precede them. The game plan stinks. The answer, Frank Reich. He's seen it all and done it all. He's been there and he's done that. Hire Reich as a consultant and you save the season. They hired Vic Fangio as a defensive consultant late last year, and that worked great until the second half of the Super Bowl. The Eagles don't have to fire first-year offensive coordinator Brian Johnson, and BJ can even keep calling plays, as long as Reich gets a headset on Sundays. Okay, while I'm not totally opposed to bringing Reich in as a consultant, because despite his struggles, obviously the Panthers aren't a very good team in general, I'm not sure he saves your season. Hear me out. First off, talking about the pre-snap motion issues for the Birds, Carolina ranked only 2 spots higher than Philly, so it's not like you're going to add much of a new wrinkle there. Of course, I can understand the argument of helping craft a game plan that breeds confidence, but personally, I think it's too many cooks in the kitchen as it is. Remember, the report just last week was that Sirianni hand selects a series of plays for Brian Johnson that he can choose from, so it's definitely Sirianni's offense, but it's kind of even his play calling.
We call him the Vulture because he swoops in and solves cases that are almost solved and takes the credit for himself.
I'm sorry, I know that's probably not the popular decision, but it's just hard to know how much of this is on BJ and how much of this is Sirianni, especially in those high leverage situations, which is why I'm not sure adding another voice in that element makes a whole lot of sense. And come on, realistically, this team isn't going to make personnel changes in the middle of the season like this, as Sirianni doubled down on that stance, sounding like Reich is off the table.
I feel good with the people that we have in this building. We're 10-3. We're in control of our own destiny, and we're going to keep rolling and finding answers with the people that we have.
Okay, yeah, clearly some changes need to be made even if personnel stays the same. And you're not wrong to think maybe a new face would make the difference, since it's definitely not a good thing once players begin to leak dissatisfaction of coordinators or game plans. However, let's not forget that's exactly what Reich got fired for, with The Athletic's Diana Rossini sharing that team sources described a Hunger Games culture at the Bank of America Stadium. Coaches said they believed other staff members were text messaging Tepper behind Reich's back about issues they saw about the team. General manager Scott Fitterer and separately an offensive coach went to Tepper with a coaching suggestion for the quarterback. Fitterer had previously spoken to Reich about this issue. Ultimately, Reich lost control of the clubhouse, which is obviously not great. However, I won't lie, I did initially answer yes to the Eagles bringing back Reich as a consultant since a little extra wisdom couldn't hurt. But the more I think about it, I'm not so sure. I mean, either way, it feels unlikely that we're going to see an addition like this. I don't know. Would love to know what you guys think, and what am I not mentioning? Of course, there's also lots of blame to go around, especially on the defense, but BG's confident the Birds will get it right.
And I believe in this team, and the team believes in you. We believe in each other, and despite what's been going on the last 2 weeks, because, of course, it's a little more juice because of who it is and what happened last year with the 49ers. And then, of course, the Cowboys going to be, every time we play them, we got to beat them. But I know that it didn't happen the last 2 weeks, and we got Seattle this week. And it's like how we respond. Of course, we wanted to respond with these Cowboys by getting on the win column, but it didn't happen. So there's no sense of crying about it. Let's fix it. Let's really, be out there really trying to look ourselves in the mirror and just know that, yeah, we 10-3, but we got some stuff that we got to get better on so that we can make this run.
Look, I can't fault you if it's hard to stay positive, but I'm choosing to look at this as a glass half full, and I'm going to believe this squad can get it fixed. Also, speaking of positivity, I've got a really cool giveaway that I'm about to be doing soon, so be sure to subscribe and keep an eye out. And a reminder for the live show, the Wednesday link with Thomas Mott at 7 p.m. Eastern. Feel free to swing by so we can talk about this more, and hope to see you there. This has been the Philly Special.